Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that while oil producers see sharply lower demand, the world's largest economy shows rising retail demand. First, OPEC cut its demand forecast for the second time in 2 months. That suddenly dropped the price of crude in all markets by almost 5%. So it might be a surprise to know that American retail demand at physical stores rose last week by 6.5%, more than the same week a year ago, far outpacing inflation and its fastest growth since the end of 2022, when it was recovering from the weak pandemic base. Prior to that anomaly, it's its highest growth rate since 2006. And the NFIB Business Optimism Index slipped in August, but only off a very high level of the prior month. Even after this slip, it's still near its highest since the end of 2022. In China, foreign demand for their exports was strong in August. They increased by 8.7% in August from the same month a year ago, the most since March 2023, and a 23-month high of $309 billion US. That was more than the expected rise of 6.5% and more than July's growth of 7%. It was the fifth straight month of expansion. The Chinese factory sector is being held up by international demand, not domestic demand. New Zealand and Australian demand for Chinese exports is falling, however. Ditto the EU, Japan and South Korea. Demand from the US is up, but only by 2.8%. The countries that are with the largest demand increases are Brazil, Southeast Asia and, interestingly, Taiwan. And Australia's Westpac Melbourne Institute Consumer Sentiment Index dipped by 0.5% in September from August, the sixth time of decline in 2024. Consumers are still concerned their economy is heading for a harder landing. They are less fearful of interest rate rises though, but more fearful of losing their jobs. And the drop in the NAB Business Sentiment Index in Australia was a surprise, an outside slump to a 9-month low and its weakest August since 2021. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 3.64% and down 6 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today up $11 at $2,513 an ounce. But oil prices are down $2.50 a barrel at just under $66 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price now just over $69 a barrel. And these levels are a 3-year low. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 61.5 US cents and marginally softer from yesterday. Against the Aussie, though, we're 10 basis points firmer at 92.4 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also 10 basis points firmer at 55.8 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at 69.6 and little change from yesterday. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.